What episode are we on?
We're on episode 6.
Of?
Got Issues.
Featuring, like, who's here? Who's part of the show? Who's the hostesses?
We got the chummer to the south, Locke, Sandy, and dipshit from Boardwalk Empire. No, I'm kidding. You're not dipshit. The bitch in the corner.
My beard's
He's
all
in the corner. I'm not in the corner.
My shirt's dirty.
Yeah, that's also true. But from them,
Travis.
they don't know.
Guys
that you're
talking
in
too
the
much,
corner.
man. They're not here to hear
Travis.
what corner Travis is in.
Travis.
They're here, if they are,
Who?
to hear about what reviews we got and what's new from comics this week and whether or not they should buy 2 of the many fucking comics that came out this week. We only do 2, though.
Yes.
And first up on the docket is IDW's The Crow Memento Mori.
We're really good at names.
Memento Mori.
I'm guessing that's Latin. And I think Riddick was explaining, a friend of mine who might speak Latin, I'm not too sure. He said it's like something about like death is present or remember your death or something. I'm not too sure. But it kind of falls along. Written by Roberto Ricconi. Like, we're fucking around with too many Italian people, man.
Yeah, we're
Italian or Greek. They're either Italian or Greek,
It's
and we
crazy.
cannot even fucking
I never
pronounce
thought
their
they
name.
had that many fucking
We're sorry,
writers out
guys,
here
but
in this
you know,
business.
this is what we get.
I like Italian people, man. They make
I
dope,
like
they
them
make
too.
dope food.
Yeah.
Gelatos
Same with
are
the
dope.
Greeks. The Greeks make dope food
So
too.
Wine's pretty solid.
Wine's
All the
pretty
Mediterranean foods are good.
solid. Werther Dell'Edera is Werther Dell'Edera. Again,
Dell'Edera?
we'll put the names up and you can have your own
Dell'Edera.
fun trying to pronounce the shit. Yeah, one of them was born 13th of January, what, 74?
Yeah,
79? 74?
74.
He's 44 years old. That would be Roberto Ricconi, I guess it is.
And
then the other one was
Dell'Edera.
1975. I couldn't get
A
a
year
month.
after.
Couldn't get a month.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So they're
Roberto
experienced. They've been in the game for a bit.
Yeah, Roberto Ricconi, I don't know. He hasn't written too much American shit, it looked like, or at least from what I've seen. He's done some work with DMZ. He's done a bunch of Italian shit and a bunch of French shit.
You said he was a fill writer, right? For DMZ? Fill-in writer?
Well, he did the, what was it? Something about the journal. A journalist, free journalist or something like that. I don't know. We'll pop up which exact work he did. I can't remember the fill-in that he did. Well, again, it's not really a fill-in writer. I guess he contributed to certain pieces, man. I don't want to call them fill-in writers, man. It's not mangas. They're not fill-in story arcs.
No.
Yeah.
They worked with the story. So DMZ was a good storyline. So
What do we think of the issue?
hold on, are we done? Because fucking Dell'Edera has done a lot of work.
Oh, Dell'Edera.
Yeah, he did Amazing Spider-Man, Family Business, Punisher War Journal, Annual,
wow.
Batman, Detective Comics, Icarus from the New 52. He's worked on G.I. Joe.
And this is the writer?
Yeah, he's worked with Brian Azzarello, who's another dope-ass writer.
Oh, he did
the
Loveless.
Western
Yeah.
Loveless. Yeah, so, like, he's been, the artist has been around for a minute, though.
Oh, they are.
Yeah.
So, and then The Crow here was a 2-part. You actually had your main story, Memento Mori. And then you had another side story, and the reason why we're bringing it up is because the side story is pretty decent, and it's done by an OG in the comics who's not actually that old, Matteo Scalia.
Yeah.
I don't know how to fucking pronounce that.
Another-
name.
No, you said it right.
Yeah, but this guy's a gangster. He's a dope-ass artist.
think you
82,
said
so
right.
that brings him, what, 35 years old?
Yeah. So
Yes.
I don't know, but he did the art for Justin Jordan's Dead Body Road. We did a comic about Justin Jordan that was Death of Love. He's worked with Rick Remender. He's the artist on Black Science, I believe.
Oh,
yeah. He's done Batman, Daredevil, Deadpool, Indestructible Hulk, Wolverine and the X-Men, which was a fucking amazing
Yeah,
run
that
by
was a
Jason
dope
Aaron.
fucking series.
I loved it. Yeah, so he's been around. He's been out for a minute. So
Yeah.
But yeah, so both stories. One of them's called obviously Memento Mori, and the other one is Buried Virtue.
Yeah. So let's.
what? One was better than the other.
Yeah.
one was fucking revolting almost.
Yeah. The Crow sucked.
Memento Mori.
Yo, I'm sorry.
As the first 3 pages were sermons.
Yeah, like, well, his
Four
first
pages.
No, guys, realistically speaking, it was the first 2 pages, but like each frame, it was like set up 1, 2, 3 frames, and then 1, 2, 3 frames. I think. And each one had like a quote from the Bible about fucking up some dude with a sword.
Yes.
Or if there's evil in your town, fuck up your town. Like, we get it. Like,
Just righteous killing.
well, like, I don't think too many people are gonna pick up the Crow wondering who it is. Like, I think if you're a Crow fan, you're getting this comic. If you're not, you might stay away with it, unless you're like an Edgar Allan Poe fan, and that's a Raven, isn't it? So
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he has a poem about a crow. Too.
Well, even then, like the whole idea behind
Crow.
the crow was the fact that it was a Native American sort of style.
I didn't. You
like,
know, we
with
were
the
talking about that
spirits.
earlier. I didn't necessarily get that from the first movie. I thought, and that's all I seen was the movie. There was
Well,
a
it's just
comic
Well,
because-
they made a
written on
fucking
it.
Odin reference in the second half of this.
Wooden,
Yeah.
yeah, which is separate from this.
No.
But again, we didn't think it was tied necessarily to Christianity, and this guy, he ties it straight to Christianity.
Straight to Christianity.
Not
Of
even,
course,
not
when
even
you tie
kind
something
of
to
stopping.
Christianity, I guess your mortal enemy has to be the filthy Muslims,
Yeah.
because
Apparently.
that happens to be well, this guy, he got ran over by some Muslims.
Yeah.
Watch his girlfriend die.
Yeah, but the weird thing is the guy didn't really go full cocked with the Muslim angle, because he kept saying God. It's like, well, like, you know, if you're going to go hardcore with the Muslim terrorists, they don't refer to God as God, they refer to him as Allah, so...
Yeah, exactly. And
I
then
was
of
kind of
course,
confused about that.
well, and not only the fact that this guy who's the crow apparently is blonde hair, blue eyed. So not
Yeah, but
Just throwing that out
any,
there,
Any white
just, you
person
know.
can kill
Yeah, because
Muslims,
it
right?
looks like because he mentioned like how long it only took him a day to come back, because I guess he got his last rites there.
He compared himself to Jesus.
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Jesus took 3 days, it only took me one. Things
Yeah.
move fast nowadays. Yes, they do, but your comic didn't. The pages were excruciating.
Yeah, it
Oh,
was
God.
very excruciating to
It was
read.
this. If you've seen the Crow movie, you've read this
Yeah.
comic.
No,
No. This is a
There
shitty
were no
adaptation
Muslim
of.
terrorists.
Like,
I didn't
the
understand
fucking
when
Crow.
he found the dudes who were doing their driving, right? Like the
Yeah.
kid was like wondering whether or not the Muslims were going to get him or the Christians were going to get him, and it turned out the Crow got him.
Yeah.
But I didn't get why he was wearing a vest. Like, what do all terrorists just wear vests at all times in the day?
Yeah, like-
why are you wearing a suicide
Oh,
vest?
you got to be ready to go at all times.
All times. So,
All
like,
times.
he blew him up in a suicide vest. Of course, not going to do anything to the Crow unless the Crow was actually in the explosion,
Yes.
which it probably wasn't.
Nope.
I'm not too sure what he's going with that. I'm not even too sure if it's like this is a continuation.
But let's talk about
might
the
be.
the better story out of this comic, because it's a two-in-one.
It's literally, what, 3 pages?
And
Yeah, it was 3 pages.
3 pages, and it follows
the dialogue
around,
was dope between the Crow and the fucking.
It follows
No, the
a-
Raven.
like
It was a Raven.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yes.
what was it, a female Viking warrior?
Yeah.
Yes.
Who just fucks up shit, and she's kind of going on her way to another fight. And at first you think the Crow kind of works with her, but
Raven.
You're a Raven.
You're a Raven.
again, a Raven and a Crow?
They're two different things.
Really?
Size.
But is this a comic called The Crow or The Raven? It's called The Crow, so
Yeah.
I would imagine that's a crow following it around.
Yeah, but she's not the crow.
I didn't say she was a crow.
I know. But chances it looks like a raven.
Did you become the filthy fucking casual in the last 5
Negative.
minutes here?
Negative.
Did you just pull the
Why would you
casual fucking
why would
maneuver?
you? Wow.
Well, why would you correct the Crow comic to a Raven? Like that's just
But that-
fucking-
she's
even
not-
if this shit looked like a fucking Raven.
But
it's
it
safe
wasn't
to
about
assume
the Crow.
It was a Crow. The Crow was literally okay. So I don't know if you know how the Crow works,
Yes.
but when you die, your
Yes.
like essence goes
But it
into
didn't
the
even
bird.
really state that she died.
You have to kill the bird.
She
to kill
didn't
them.
die. She wasn't the Crow. The Crow
No.
was the person at the end page who came and fucking goes for the backslash. That's
Yes.
why that comic was insane. Because
Yes.
the Crow is leading her to her own fucking death.
Yes.
To the Crow.
To the person she
Yes.
killed, who you see in the memory on the last page, man. Like, yo,
Just-
this Mateo motherfucker needs his own Crow series.
Yes.
That was
Just
dope
based
as
off
shit.
of those 2 pages.
Yes.
That shit was
Agreed.
insane.
Agreed.
That would have made a good movie, and they did it in 3 pages.
Yeah, they
Mm-hmm.
did. And it was fucking, the way he lined it up, the art style looked fucking dope as shit, everything dope as shit, and the way you could connect everything. Crow's eyeballs yellow, certain memory where you see this family all dead up and this girl's wearing like a yellow cloak. And then at the end of the fucking thing that we just fucking ruined for you,
She's there.
in a wicked looking, yo, I'm gonna show this motherfucker
Yeah.
up.
No, I'll get the
I'm gonna
artwork.
show this, just in case you can't get this last page, man, I'm gonna show this motherfucker up, man.
Yeah, it
Because
was.
this page was like fucking, it's a really
It
cool
was
frame,
really well drawn.
right? Look at this.
Keep it still for a second.
There's a Raven
Yeah.
in a series called The Crow. Right? And that's the person who's following. Look at this shit, man.
Look like a raven.
Sue us if you got to IDW. I don't give a fuck no more, man. This shit needs to be seen. It can't even be seen because the light's all fucked up, man.
Mine.
All right,
Whatever, we
we're
got the
go-
point.
Yeah, they got the point. Watch
Yeah.
your step, man.
All right,
Watch your
so
step.
Regardless,
Ravens, Crows, interchangeable.
second second story way better. The first story
Second story way
overdone,
better.
rehashed, boring as fuck, and
Yes.
the artwork.
I did like the artwork. I thought
Yeah.
the artwork was kind of cool, especially the way he did the wordings.
Yes,
Like, word
the
sounds.
onomatopoeias.
Well, the bracka.
Yeah.
You know, that shit.
Yeah.
It's too bad because it feels like in this case the artist definitely outshone the writer. Outshone the writer. Outshined
Yeah,
the writer.
outshined would be the
Outshone?
better word.
Yeah.
Like, it's just, the dialogue was so fucking bland.
Dry,
Yeah, it was
like,
so
ugh.
goddamn dry. Like, there was
I was reading to get it done, not into enjoy it.
yeah,
Kinda
yeah, that
sense.
was the same thing with me as well.
Well, again, the
Like,
art was dope as shit.
The second half though, love
Yeah,
the
that
page.
was much better story.
Absolutely.
Much better
Knockout
story.
with fucking insane art. Like
Yes.
really, well, considering how many pages? Let's count it.
Yeah, that was 3 pages.
1, 2, 3.
Four with the
pages.
final page.
Well, technically, you can't even
Right.
really count that.
Right, but the bird's telling us, yo, have patience. And then
Yeah.
sooner or later, someone is going to ask you to settle the score on this. Score is fucking settled.
Yeah.
All right, let's settle the score on Crow.
Don't buy.
Fucking- Is that what we're doing?
No,
Buy
so
Trade.
if you have to buy this,
You're a
buy
Crow
it
fan.
for the last story.
Yeah.
That's the only reason.
I would suggest. I would pay $4 for the last story.
Yeah, agreed.
It's,
What about
I'm
you?
not-
I wouldn't.
big
I
of a
honestly, like, I'm not a big Crow fan. I did enjoy the last 4 pages, but it's one of those things where unless you knew that comic was going to be there, you'd be disappointed until you got there. It would like it.
Oh, now they know. Yeah, no, I hear you. That's I definitely wouldn't buy the first.
Yeah.
But you gotta get through the shit to get to the gold. Leprechaun chamber at the end of the shit rainbow. All right, but this right here is the variant copy. So
Yes.
if you go to your local comic store and they don't have this, just ask for a Memento Mori.
Yes.
If they look disgusted at you, you might get some looks like that.
Yeah, you probably will.
Yeah. I don't know.
So-
All right.
Whatever. Good.
Just-
Good.
Let's
Next.
bring us to number 2.
Next, number 2, yeah. Really good company. I enjoy these guys.
Have
They're
we
coming
done
out
one of
with
these
more
before?
Content. I don't think we have a Black
No.
Mask.
So no, I think this is our first Black Mask here on the channel. To be honest, I think,
Yeah.
They've written some big titles, Young Terrorist,
Yep.
like big small titles. Black is one of their titles. That's the one where only people who are superheroes are black people. It's a pretty interesting take. I know it sounds kind of ridiculous, but it's a pretty interesting take. Now it's Black AF, which I'm guessing is black as fuck, but I'm not too sure.
Have we had that come into the shop yet?
Yes, of course, man. What do you expect? With the way I get down on Black Mask and the fucking, come on, man. Yes.
Yeah, true.
They did the Wu-Tang Ghostface Killer 12 Reasons to Die,
Oh, shit.
which
that was that.
coincides with his album. Kind of coincides with his album.
Yeah.
Ghostface. So they're a pretty cool company. I like how they don't give a fuck, man. They'll write something. They're kind of like
They
a
go for
more
the
wild
underdog.
image. Yeah. They just released the Wilds. We were gonna do a review about that, but we never read it, so we never got around to reading it in time.
Yeah.
So it didn't happen. But they write good shit.
But so this is their new number 1 for the week. It's
Yeah.
called.
Breathless. It's written by Pat Shand, and the art is done by Renzo Rodriguez.
No Italian names. We got the names right.
Yep.
I think Renzo. Well, he could be anywhere between
Spanish?
Spanish or Latin American. Who knows?
Rodriguez is very
So,
Spanish.
yeah.
What did
well, it
Shand
could be
write?
anything Latin American too. So Shand's written a bunch of Zenoscope shit. Actually, both of these guys. Really, the only thing I found was like Grim Fairy Tale stuff. I know Shand did some.
I love
Robin
the
Hood.
Grim Fairy Tales.
I
That's
don't.
good.
I don't know. I don't.
Wait,
I
you
don't
found
know.
them too cliche? Or?
I like the Robin Hood stuff, and if he wrote Robin Hood, I'm good with Pat Shand. But like, no,
Yeah.
it's fucking spank bank. I'm not fucking 15 no more. I don't jerk off to comics. I read them.
Yeah, that's true.
Occasionally jerking off to them. Like I might jerk off to the last page of the Crow. Especially with that raven and all
Yeah.
its glory.
But so what do we think? So what do we think of the story?
Hold on, and then Renzo Rodriguez also did a lot of art for Zenoscope. From my understanding, he might have done other shit, but it was hard to look him up. That's why we don't have a birth date. Birth
Yeah.
date unknown. Now,
I'll
don't
try to
go
find
and
it.
double show me. I'm not the greatest researcher. So.
He could be an
I'll
immortal.
try to add it into the bottom here.
Here we are.
Feasible. It's feasible. What did I think? I thought Breathless was good. I
Yeah.
liked it. Black Mask doesn't put me down too often.
Yeah.
You know, like, again, they have other titles, but I liked it. I thought it was good. I thought it was, I had really cool dialogue, really cool main character. The only thing I didn't get was her haircut, but I guess, you know, it's comics. You got to make them look very stylized so they're easy to remember.
I dug the action hero that they threw in halfway through, the one that looked like kind of Ruby Rose. She looked like a badass.
What about Nick Fury?
Oh, okay, yeah.
And then Nick Fury
was
makes-
Yeah,
hilarious.
Nick Fury makes a guest appearance in
Yeah,
this
but
issue.
It's
was
funny
not
because
Nick Fury,
3 people
though.
read it at different times.
Said the same thing,
and they
yeah.
were all
Why
out of
is
the
Nick
store.
Fury in
Like
this?
one would cycle out of the store, they'd read the comic, and then someone made a friggin' Nick Fury joke,
Yeah.
and then the other one came back, made a Nick Fury joke, and the other one left. New one came in, Nick Fury
And it's
joke.
funny too
I love
because
these,
like
man. Nick Fury's everywhere.
his dialogue in this is pretty much Nick Fury's dialogue to a T.
Yeah, but I guess anybody who's with an eye patch now is kind of ruined because of Nick Fury.
Yeah.
If you're writing a story
Yeah, that's
with any sort of covert ops or any sort of like high security, and you got a guy with an eye patch, you're gonna get Nick Fury. Like you can't even skin color him anymore. You can't even have a Chinese dude with an eye patch because they're gonna be like, well,
Yeah,
Marvel
it's
kinda
Asian
has
Fury.
an Asian Fury anyways.
Yeah.
So they took that. So anyone who's stern with an eye patch, you can't write. So I would suggest you double eye patch him.
Well, I definitely liked how
Yeah,
like
the double eye patch hasn't been done enough.
No, it hasn't.
the biggest thing I definitely like about this overall is the dialogue. The dialogue is
And the
very
story.
straightforward.
And the story.
The story's good, but the dialogue really moves the story.
Yeah.
No, but even
Like-
the side characters, I like even that little security guard that they had in it. I liked it. It was
Yeah.
like it didn't feel like there was any wasted characters, any wasted time. It was a good story.
Agreed.
It set a good pace.
Yeah.
And I bet you issue 2 of this is going to be really good.
Yeah.
Man.
So I bet you issue 2 is going to be actually like really good. I'm really curious to see where the story goes with this one.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah.
And that's the other thing. Renzo Rodriguez, when I first opened the page, I was like, man, fuck, this is basic ass art. And then as you look into it, it's very detailed. It's surprisingly detailed. Like everything
The
looks like
succubus
it's there.
to me was pretty sick.
Yeah, all the mutant type things, whatever they are. Like, because it's
You
a
know-
world where there's weird transformations of humans, and apparently humans can switch back and forth, or succubuses can switch.
Or they're mimicking humanity.
Yeah, all we know is they eat meat.
yes.
We kind of confirmed they eat meat. There's something in their lungs that cures asthma.
Yeah, which is that was the only part I
Here's,
found weird was the fact that it was like
Here's a
gas.
tip. Here's a tip. If you work for a secret agency that experiments on monsters,
Wear
don't
gas
tweet
masks.
about it.
Or
She tweeted that she didn't tweet that they. She just tweeted that they might have found the cure to asthma.
and
That's what
with
brought
the duck
Fury
face.
down.
With the duck face.
Yeah.
well, and I like how Fury's like when I looked up her. When I did the search on her name, doing some basic background searching, it came up to a LinkedIn profile which actually says that she works for that company.
Yeah.
And it just leaves it at that. I was like,
Well, no, 'cause,
he's like, that's a security breach, just so you know.
Yeah, because the main character is what, Scout Turner, I believe
Yes,
her name was.
yes.
And she was like, so what? It doesn't say anything about where she works.
Haven't
He's
seen
like,
Scout
I looked into it.
Haven't-
She's linked to this, and that means it's linked to here. It's easy to figure out.
I haven't seen a scout since To Kill a Mockingbird, so that's pretty neat.
Yeah.
I don't know why you need to read a book about how to kill a bird. They're pretty easy.
Okay.
Am I going to write a book about how to kill a chicken?
It's not about that.
What, Kyle?
It's a good thing.
That's
we're
our
doing a
Griffin joke
comic book
insider.
review show.
Yeah, I know.
Not a book review show. We don't.
Yeah.
We don't do books.
So would I buy this comic? Yeah, I would buy this comic.
Buy it and suggest
Hells
it.
yeah.
Up until they have further to show where it goes bad, like if they write shittiness and other.
But they haven't yet.
But
Yeah, no, definitely a great.
they definitely
number one.
set it up for a very good second issue. I'm just the
a
only
very
thing.
intense second issue. The way the
Yeah,
first
yeah.
one ends.
It
Yes.
had the last scene in this reminded me of. You ever see Cabin in the Woods?
No.
Yes.
Okay, you know the end scene with all the elevators and the banks and all the monsters.
Yes.
It
How
had
do
a-
you got elevators in a cabin in the woods?
There's a long story behind that.
well, if you have,
Is
if
there
you
some sort of secret facility underneath creating
Yes.
monsters that are haunting cabin goers?
yes.
How did they not see that? Or
all
notice
over the
that?
world, but it's mythical.
There'd have to be a
creatures.
couple of events coming up from that underground
mythical
film.
creatures.
Anyway, I'll put a little screen grab of it.
Yeah.
But it was very reminiscent of that. But I loved the whole thing. Like I rarely see a storyline this like. I don't know, linear.
You have a lot of stuff compact into this issue.
I think so. You
Like,
got
But done well, not rushed.
Yeah,
Yeah, you
like
got a
it's.
good feel of the main character.
Yes.
You got a good feel of the secondary character.
But they compact everything in a
feel
nice
the world.
dialogue. Like they're getting everything across through the dialogue,
And
which
the
is very-
frames and the card match.
do.
No.
You don't have the
narration.
context narrator bubbles.
Yeah.
That seemed to
Fucking
be-
popping up.
That seemed to be coming out a lot more right now.
7 days ago, this happened. / we're
Yeah.
not going to tell you what day it is now.
Yes,
That seems like
exactly.
it
I
seems-
hate that shit. I hate it.
The more comments we've been doing for the show, the more I'm starting to hate those fucking narrator bubbles because it seems like they're being overdone a little bit.
Exactly.
Yeah,
like
well,
you,
okay,
you
you'll never
should
get
be
rid of
like
narration
as a
bubbles.
writer.
It seems like they're being
you need
overdone.
to get
Yeah.
that dialogue to push the story. You shouldn't have to have
It's hard.
those narrator
I've been
things.
saying I think the hardest thing for a writer here, at least in my mind, watching and reading these comics, is nailing down conversation.
Yes, but like if you have a momentum for the plot line, like your set plot that you have,
No, I hear you.
you can
but
have that dialogue.
not
push
really.
it
A lot of
forward.
people try to do dialogue and they're very mechanical.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes,
It's like, hey,
that's
what
also
is
true.
this? Oh, this is
It's
the
not very
plan.
free
This is-
flowing.
Right, this guy, it sounded very back and forth. It felt
A lot of
Yes.
natural feel to it, and it was good.
good. The
Yeah,
only thing
exactly.
you can't do when you're writing a conversation is have like speech flaws that people have. Like, you
Yeah,
understand
yeah,
what I'm saying?
yeah.
Which
Yeah,
I
yeah,
guess
yeah.
you don't really do anyways because it's like that's irrelevant in the story.
But
right?
regardless, this comic is a recommend, I think, from all three of us.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah, for
yeah.
sure, for
I'd
sure,
recommend- I'd recommend
100%.
reading
This is the
anything
variant.
Black
The one we
Mask,
have
you
here
don't
is
have
this
to
is the
go
variant,
Black
right?
Mask.
This is
If
the,
you like outside shit, that also is the variant. Yes, it's asthma puffer. I think actually Renzo Rodriguez also did the variant. Like, and you can see this. This is if we can actually get a.
I'll try to get
You'll
a
see what I'm talking about with his detail just off the cover. Like you see
yeah.
the shades of the red based off of where the light's hitting it, and like the dude, he puts in the work, man. Like it looks basic, but do not.
Don't kid yourself.
Don't
You
kid
pay
yourself.
the more.
Yeah.
It's one of those things. The more you look at, the more you realize how much
good.
detail's there.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
good.
yeah.
Like
Yeah.
Okay, so for example, there's one part where the main character is driving through at the very beginning. She runs into a security guard. Homeboy offers her some donuts. Right off the get-go, you can see the donuts, and they're all like covered with sugar and like
Yeah, the sprinkles.
And she leaves. She leaves saying she only eats plain or jelly-filled. And you have no issue recognizing there was no plain or jelly-filled fucking
Yeah.
donuts in the case, which is something that is normally pretty hard to do. considering
Exactly,
it's a
because
frame.
half the artists will usually draw the donuts all
Right.
looking the same.
Right, and then she goes to her office, and her assistant comes in late, and she has one of the sprinkled donuts that are literally from the fucking page, and
The
it's almost
same donut.
the same donut. So the guy's details is like, it might sound stupid, but like again,
It's a
The
continuity.
attention, yeah.
It's a continuity thing that if you're paying attention, you're like, oh, that's good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
man. Sometimes when I'm drawing stick figures, the motherfucker's left hand might have 5 fingers, and I'll leave out the right with like 3. Like this shit just gets fucked up sometimes. So the homeboy obviously is taking care of them in this. I'm just trying to say because like sometimes
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't get it. It's a fucking.
I feel you. That was an interesting metaphor, but yeah, it was funny. It was funny. It was a good metaphor.
But anyway,
Synonym.
Quote the Raven,
Synonym.
motherfucker.
so
Cinnamons.
so there you have it.
That's for
One good,
Italian people.
one good issue. One not so good issue.
I would say this would be a half bad, half good.
Yeah, it's not half bad.
Yeah. It's not half bad. Shut up.
No, I wouldn't even say half bad, half good. Like, I'm sorry, Roberto. I'm sorry, man. I didn't dig the story. I didn't get where you're going with it. I didn't understand.
Maybe issue 2 will be better.
Yeah, it was very
like
fucking
normally,
bland.
yeah. Is this the Crow?
Sorry,
goes,
man.
What you should have just called it Crow Holy War.
Yeah.
If that's really what you want to do with it. It's not
It's
like
an Assassin's
everyone's
Creed game
done
that
it
takes
a million
place in.
times.
Is it the original
Like-
Assassin's Creed that's to Italy?
It reminds me of like a Stars TV show where
Yeah.
there's generic this, generic that. The original first Assassin's Creed took place in fucking what's it called? Jerusalem, wasn't it?
No, I thought it was Italy.
No,
Rome?
No, it was
Oh.
in Israel.
Oh, okay.
So, well, not, Israel wasn't around.
Yeah, it wasn't
Oh,
around
no.
back then, but
But yeah,
you know.
anyway, I think that's it.
Altair, wasn't he the first Assassin's Creed?
No. Yes, it was. It was Altair.
And then
Yes.
Ezio was
yes.
friggin',
Ezio was the one from Italy.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right, well, I think that's it. I think we have all the information there.
Yep.
Or a fucking dragon.
All right. Well,
Well,
thanks for watching.
Yep.
If you
Yeah,
like
thanks
what
for
we,
subbing.
yeah, thanks for subbing. We got a couple
for
of
your
subs.
time.
Yeah, thanks for your time. And we got a couple of subs this week, and we appreciate the hell out of that. So
Heck yeah.
Coming next week's. Oh no, I guess different show.
tune in next week.
Coming
for the-
next week, more issues we got issues with.
And our weekly show, The Shop.
Spenny,
Kitchen.
what comic did you recommend from the last episode that we cut you off on?
No,
Yeah,
we did a
Spenny-
Brilliant Song.
No.
We did a
no,
Brilliant Song.
I think you wanted Gideon Falls.
No,
Yeah, Gideon Falls is
Yeah,
one.
Gideon
Yes.
And our fucking ultimate fact checker Spencer wants you to check out Gideon Falls. It was a Jeff Lemire title that came out like 2 weeks ago. I agree with him. Gideon Falls is dope as fuck.
Yeah, it was. It
So
was really cool.
if you're out and about and you see that shit, it looks like a face in a city map.
Metropol, yeah.
Yeah. Pick it up. It's a good book. You won't
Yeah.
go wrong with your dollars.
All right. From us to you, see you around.
Later.
That's